Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Let It Die. So, maybe some gameplay will happen this episode? Who knows? Anyway, I feel like I'm just about prepared to take on White Steel normal mode, and I'm taking him on using I guess a not yet powerful version of what the build will kind of look like dealing with him on the highest difficulty. So I'm going to use the Nightmare strategy with this fighter, showing off White Steel normal mode, which might be overkill, but I'm not 100% sure. He may still be a challenge. I don't know. We'll see. So, using the bull build, I've got a very good strategy of setting up bullshit. Here we go. So you go to floor 1 Ikigara, which will put you right next to the up elevator to floor 2, which is the floor where you want to set up your bull build. I may have done a whole episode about setting up a bull build already. I don't know if I've talked about it though. Probably I have. I've already covered so many things. I forget what I've all covered. But anyway, here we are, officially ready to set up the bull build in the Let's Play to deal with Pale Wind, the Nightmare farming strategy. You'd want the 4th tier Dragon Buster sword upgraded. This is nowhere near where it's supposed to be for White Steel Nightmare mode. We're getting there. Okay, so you take the up escalator to Imukawa-cho, which is the ideal floor to set up a bull damage build. The build increases your strength and defense by many percentage numbers, only you have to be under a very low health bracket. I don't know exactly the number, 15% maybe? 20%? Something like that. Anyway, there's a very easy way to set it up, and it kind of requires you to be full health to do so. So be careful to not take damage. You, and you. Actually, should I take this opportunity? Don't you dare. Ha, you missed. Take this opportunity to punch these guys to death and level up the fists. Pick up these resources, because I don't even know if I need them, but I may need them. I've got 15 in the storage already, so I may not really need them. We didn't take enough damage against these guys to have to worry about, but you do want to try and stay full health for this strategy to work. Actually, I do need rats. I need a mushroom. I'm all out of mushroom in my storage. Oh yeah, look at that. I do... It's almost the end of the TDM season, so I have to get this mushroom quest at the very least. Yeah, I know. I'm getting to it. Don't worry. I do want the mushroom quest at least still to be finished by the time the season ends. I think I've got a week left or so. Should be no issue. Big whiff there, buddy. Impatient for nothing. That's what you are. Okay, so also a useful mushroom to pick up, the fluffy fungus. Here's how you set up a bull build on this floor. This is the bull build setup floor. Easy to access. It's floor 2. Really quick access from taking the elevator to floor 1. So to get into the range of health to be able to make benefit from the bull decals, you can tell they're inactive because they're grayed out at the bottom of the screen. They'll be colored in properly when they become active. So to get the bull set up, you have 2 options on this floor. Well, the aim here is to damage ourselves until we're within range for that. So what you can do is you can take off your armor, and I'm not going to do it here because I'm going to use the full health strategy. But if you wouldn't be full health, what you can do is take off all your armor, step into fire, take as much fire damage as you can. Be careful to not take it too far below the bracket you need to be. Whenever you have a low enough health percentage to get into bull build, run over here and douse yourself into water to not die. Now that is plan B. Plan A is significantly easier and faster. Now to do this, you do have to take into account the health modifier on your hat. But wearing the Murderer's Hockey Mask, which is neutral to health modification, it doesn't decrease our health or increase our health, which is good. If you're wearing a hat that decreases your health, you shouldn't be wearing it to get ready for this strategy. In the waiting room, if you're using a hat that decreases your health, in the waiting room, take it off. You'll lose health. Walk on the vanishing point in the waiting room to fully heal. You have to do this strategy at full health, and not wearing a helm that modifies your health to be decreased, because god damn it, I really can't get into the finer points of full damage, but full damage is based, well, I guess I will have to get into it. Full damage is based on your percentage health. You lose a certain percentage of your total health, and this is before modification through helmet's armor. So if you change your maximum health at any point by using a helmet that, let's say, reduces your health, well, this strategy is to get into bull while dropping off of this high points a fixed number of times. And if you do it at your proper maximum health, then you'll lose just the right percentage of health to be in the perfect bull range. Long story short, don't be wearing a helmet that modifies your health pool while doing this. So be not wearing a helmet and be at full health. I'll put it that way. It's that simple. Not wearing a hat, be at full health when you do this. I believe it's 4 falls takes you into bull decal range, and then you're set. Now, if you do have a hat which you're planning on wearing, which does decrease or increase your health, keep it with you and only equip it after you've set up bull. The bull build setup will still remain, your health will be modified, your total health will be adjusted after you equip your helmet. But don't do that full trick with a helmet that reduces your health total or increases your health total, because you won't be in the proper bull range if you do so. It sounds more technical than it is, but like, it's got to do with the way this game calculates full damage. Right. Anyway, if it does go wrong, you've got the fire for plan B. Perfect floor to set up bull build, this one. I highly recommend. So we're set up for bull. And in fact, I prefer the full damage strategy to get into bull build, because it actually takes you far enough beyond the range you need to get into bull health range, and still be allowed to eat a bunch of mushrooms. Every mushroom you eat will heal you for 20 health. So if you just get just enough health lost to be just in range of bull, beware. You will often take yourself out of that range through passive regeneration. You regenerate 1 health point every couple of seconds if you're not hungry in this game. You also regenerate 20 health for every beneficial mushroom you consume. Even if the mushroom isn't a healing mushroom, eating any mushroom will heal you for 20 health on top of whatever else effect it does. Which is definitely something to bear in mind if you want to stay in bull build. This game is really complicated, isn't it? Jeez, seriously. I can hardly do anything without spending hours explaining everything. Okay, so we're going to floor 5, Hyakudori. Off we go. Please give me the downward escalator close by, because otherwise I'm going to have 3 episodes of talking about Forcemen and not doing Forcemen. Also, I do want to get to sleep at some point today. Hey, Akadori. I've also got a video on my channel surviving the highest fall in the game by increasing your health by a really ridiculous percentage. Okay, I remember the Hyakudori elevator takes you really close to some escalator. I guess I forgot it's the up escalator that it takes you close to, and not the down escalator. Jump. Get wrecked. Also, what Bull does increases attack and defense by 30% when your HP is 15% or below. Another 30%, 60%, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. We're doing 140% increased damage. We're doing 240% damage in our current state. So on this low floor, everything is getting significantly overkilled. Don't have to worry at all, and this I refuse to pick up. I've got 23 of those, it's way too much. Actually, punch you to death. Yep. Being blocked there. Sounds like someone's on a killing spree. Weapon experience. Work a bit on the unarmed mastery level here. Okay, the other up escalator has been located. So this means the only way to go now is the correct way to go. I don't know. Yeah, it may end up being 1 episode per Forceman. It might be as ridiculous as that, unfortunately. I mean, I'm enjoying these, it's just I don't know if I'm going fast enough, if I'm getting too rambly. I don't know if I'm boring you guys, getting too technical, and not getting into any kind of combat. I mean, it would be more entertaining, I guess, if I could explain away as I'm fighting, but I can't do 2 things at the same time. I don't have the brain capacity to do such a thing. I really have to focus on either explaining things properly or continuing with combat. So we're heading towards the unknown floor, which I'm assuming is the normal mode Forceman. And to be prepared for the normal mode, I haven't gotten into this. I should probably have gotten into it on the last episode where I'm talking about the rules of the Forceman. Well, the difficulty level of the normal mode is basically a joke. It's kind of a joke compared to hard mode and nightmare mode, but also the rewards are inconsequential in normal mode. Normal mode really is just a practice training dummy almost. It's a practice version of the Forceman fights. You can see the abilities they use, you can prepare yourself for them. The main reason I'm doing them here is easy death metals, of course. 3 easy death metals. Die! You are super dead. Enjoy the afterlife. Reginaka. Off we go. This is not the single fight I'm going to be doing against Pale Wind, by the way. When I say Pale Wind, White Steel. This is just the first fight I'm going to do against White Steel, showing off the hard mode and the nightmare mode's ideal farming strategy, using a bull build, one-shots, as much damage stacking as possible strategy. In fact, ignore this decal, it's a joke. This should be a damage increaser as well. preferably regular Raging Ball. You may not need this much damage. I'll just put it this way. Stack as much damage as you have available for decals on top of each other. Use these, use the mushrooms I recommend here. And if you cannot one-shot white steel, then you're doing something wrong. Either you're not using enough damage in your decals, or your weapon is not upgraded enough. Either of those things have to be adjusted. You want to get into a range where you are consistently one-shot killing white steel on the first counter-attack hit. So the way the rage move on the sword works, and I'd like to show it off, I guess I'll show it off once. You do this, you hold the triangle button, and then you press the attack button on the sword the moment, well actually a second before an incoming attack is going to hit you, and then you do this. In that stance, you counter any attack that comes at you, and I'll consume another one of these, just to be at max, well, enough rage, I guess. 4 rage is fine. I like to be at 4 rage to do this, in case you mess up once. It allows you to do it a second time without having to consume another shroom. Yeah, you want white steel to hit you while you're standing in that like 2-second ready state for the counter attack. So the Dragon Buster Sword S counter strategy is by far the most cost-effective way of farming white steel gear on the highest difficulty levels. I think I've rambled on long enough. It is safe to add this bird shroom, what's it called? Oak shroom? By killing birds, which you can find every now and then on the top floors. So I'd say birds are not a priority pickup for healing. If you're farming white steel forcemen, birds are actually a priority kill, and the oak shroom is a priority pickup and collection priority. Keep as much of these as you can while you're farming out white steel. You want these for the counter strategy. It adds another 150% attack on top of all the shit you've already got. So you can safely eat this without having to worry about the time going down. It's just a buff that stays on you until your next action. So your next action, your next damaging action will be doing another plus 150% damage. And then you've got the OG Sting Shroom. This may work with Red Sting Shroom. It depends on how much damage you're doing. You know, find out the sweet spot for you. See how much damage you're doing with your build in overall. And if you've got enough damage on you that you can consistently one-shot him, this is a one-shot strategy. If you're not one-shotting white steel, then you can change things. In fact, I haven't got the maximum damage I can get. This is a decal that is not right. It should be bull for another 60% more damage. That's a change that can be made. And the helmet also has no strength. Wait, it does have strength modifier, but not the best. The best strength modifying hat is the warrior helmet, which I didn't bring with me. But if you're not one-shotting him, that might be another way to get within the range that you can one-shot him, because that adds 14% strength. And yes, you want to be a striker for this strategy. Now when you're ready to do the fight, buff up. This Forceman actually has the most easygoing rules, because he came out in a time when, you know, they didn't expect people to kill their babies. Poor game bosses. They're getting killed by these mean players. It's not allowed. Anyway, I'm getting cynical. I'm getting a cynical streak come over me. Yeah, this is a very forgiving boss. It actually allows you to take many buffs before interacting with this fight starting gizmo here. So you can actually buff up a couple of useful buffs here. Infinite ammo works, defense shroom, tough shroom, attack shrooms, possibly the snail shroom. I'm going to test that next time. But many buffs do stack and can be taken into the fight with you here. From the next Forceman onwards, they add a they actually remove your buffs before you enter the fight, so you have to buff in the fight, which is honestly nonsense, and they consistently get more nonsensical as you go further through the Forcemen. But we'll get to those. So, consuming the attack shroom, getting ready for the fight. He'll come at you at the start, stand at ready with the triangle button pressed, and get your trigger finger ready to take on White Steel. The first one's for free. Let's get ready to rumble. Notes, you don't get zapped. Buffs not removed for this fight. And that's what the White Steel fight looks like. Nice timing with the attack, bro, he says. Well, thank you, White Steel. Thanks for the compliment. Now, the rewards for the normal mode Forcemen are inconsequential. They're boss metals, blueprints, and kill coins. You cannot obtain their gear from the normal mode. Normal mode is really just practice mode. Practice mechanics on Forcemen. 8,000 kill coins. That's a pretty good reward, considering it costs 5,000 to do the Forcemen. Bear in mind, Forcemen are not really enemies that you can farm kill coins on. Now, the Harder Nightmare have a chance of dropping a blueprint, and they did change it that the blueprints sell for 50,000 now instead of like what, 1,000 something, you know, like the regular blueprint sell cost at the shop. They've increased it to be more forgiving, considering the high entry fee for the higher difficulties. Getting a blueprint duplicate is actually it doesn't sting as much as it used to. You don't mind getting a duplicate blueprint because you can sell it at the store for 50,000 kill coins, which is a nice recovery of kill coins to take on the challenge again and get a blueprint that you do not yet possess. So we're getting pretty late on time for this episode. I'm just going to make an extra episode and upload it after this one back to back with the next fighter. So I'll just continue on now and I'll just pick up where we leave off, and however long it takes will be hello. You what, mate? Don't you dare. Kerplow! Get smushed, buddy. Oh, no. Don't drop pants. Give me the mushroom. Actually, I don't mind going across the Yotsuyama haters here. Actually, is this a golden chest? You can always tell if the chest is worth picking up. When they're golds, you can expect resources here. I'm hoping for Candlewolf or Milk Blue. Gimme. Yuck. Disgusting. The worst. The reason I want Candlewolf or Milk Blue is because they don't have the equivalent bosses on this tier, on this level of floor. Dodd Blue is eminently farmable. You just go to floor 3 Tamata, head to your right, give Cohen a poke, and he'll give you this medal. So you don't need to pick that up on golden chests. It's worth checking the chest here. Milk Blue is a very useful and rare resource to get. For the reason I just mentioned. It doesn't have the equivalent boss. There's no low floors go to a 9. is the thing. What am I saying? U10. In fact, the reason milk of most colors is considered the rarest metal is because there is no U10 anywhere. The only U10 is the red metal U10 on the, you know, floor, whatever. 32, 33, I don't know. I don't know everything by heart in this game. Continuing on, and as you can tell, our eating shrooms and passive 1 HP per second upgrade, what am I saying, healing over time has not yet healed us beyond the 15% life bracket. So we remain in bull decal range for now. Though we are a 5-star striker on low floors with a 20% damage increase to full health enemies. So yeah, we're probably gonna just one-shot anything anyway, even if we're outside of bull range. No you don't. How dare you. Whenever you hear someone say something, you know it's a hater. Because screamers don't talk, they scream. The ideal counter time for the hovering tubers is after any attack they do. They'll often dip a bit lower in the air after an attack, and that's the ideal time to counterattack. With many weapons that have a low hitbox, like the drill arm, this thing pokes pretty low, so you won't be hitting them easily while they're hovering high in the air. And here we are. Back to base. Now if you want to maintain the bull decal setup, don't walk over the vanishing point by accident, as I often do out of habits. It's a mistake I make sometimes, and it's really obnoxious, because then you have to go back to floor 1 and do the full trick to get back in bull decal range. Which isn't the worst, it's just, you know, damn loading screens, man, all over this game. Spend more time looking at loading screens than playing the game sometimes. Yes, I would like to return to the waiting room. So I'm gonna transfer to my shooter and take white steel on legitimately to show off some of his moves, his cool moves. Yeah, get on with it. Here we go. So if you want to stay in bull build, don't do this. Whoop, full health, full health, kill bull decal setup, and the switch we do. Are you the one? No. You're the one. I set up my fighters already, like between episodes, since the last one, because I want to save as much time as possible, because you know how I can get pretty rambly and time wasty. Okay, so this is Stacy, our shooter. Fully leveled yet? No, it still needs a bit of leveling. Nope, we don't have the experience. We're missing 2 points of luck, so no big deal. A little bit of crit chance less. I don't have really strong decals to give this fighter, unfortunately. So we'll just have to deal with a 7% damage increase, 7% damage and defense increase for war ensemble weapons and armor, a slight increase to crit chance, a defense boost for sports type armor, which is what we're wearing, and a professional gymnast to give us an easier time at dodging with less stamina consumption. So I could do like 1,000,000 dodges without, you know, getting a heart attack. Running late, end of the episode, continuing on in a minute. See you guys in a minute.